Okay. All right, welcome to Bishop O'Connell High School. We got a good one tonight, folks. It's the Monumental Sports Network's high school basketball showcase presented by WGL. It's Gonzaga visiting Bishop O'Connell, two of the best teams in the WCAC. And right now you're taking a look at the starting lineup for Gonzaga. Number 1, Anwar Gill. Number 2, Chuck Harris. Number 5, Terrence Williams. Number 13, Josh Watts. And number 22, Miles Studi. Gonzaga, a great team. Only 2 losses so far. And as the lights go out on a really awesome renovated stadium here at Bishop O'Connell. And Yannick, they have redone the entire area here. Yannick Scarrett, the producer. I'm Dan Nolan. We'll be calling the game for you all today. And Bishop O'Connell's redone the basketball court. Yep. They've redone the entire gym. You're seeing some lights. For a high school game already, we're seeing the showmanship here from Bishop O'Connell.
It's big time high school basketball. And we know WCAC, the best division in the country, so why not have a professional, quote-unquote, light show to start out with the starting lineups?
Absolutely. You're seeing this right now. Both teams 3-1 in the WCAC so far. Happy New Year, by the way, to everybody. This is the first WCAC game the Monumental Sports Network has done in 2019, and it's going to be a good one to get us started here as they go through the introductions for Bishop O'Connell. The starting lineup for this team: number 0, Jamal Banks. Number 3, Ian Teal. Number 24, Wes Peterson. Number 33, Charlie Weber. And number 51, Marcus Dockery. And Yannick, if you're looking for a matchup to watch for tonight in terms of individual players, number 5, Terrence Williams on Gonzaga. And number 51 on Bishop O'Connell, Marcus Dockery. Dockery's coming off a 30-point performance against Jack Yates, a high school out of Texas. Can absolutely score it. And we've seen Terrence Williams for now 3 years in the WCAC. Yeah. Certainly does not have an issue scoring the basketball at this level.
At Dockery, he's going to University of Maryland, bringing his scoring prowess over there. Terrence Williams, not committed yet, but he's getting some offers from some big-time schools. I think Georgetown locally is one of those schools as well. So those are the guys that they go through when they need a bucket for both teams.
Georgetown, NC State, Stanford, and UVA, among others. For Terrence Williams, Gonzaga in purple, Bishop O'Connell in white. The new year on Monumental Sports Network is underway. The tip will go to Gonzaga, number 2 ranking in the Washington Post All-Met rankings. O'Connell at number 5. Both teams have improved over the course of the season so far, but, of course, the beginning of January. Gill finds Williams. Williams, turnaround jump shots up. That's no good. First jumper is not there. And O'Connell will have the basketball. Teal at point guard was so good last year. And there's Dockery. Weber trying to find his man inside to no avail. And in transition we go. Harris. He'll find Studi from long distance. Just short. Gets his own rebound. Tries to pass it back out. He does. Another 3 is up. This time it's Harris, no good. Studi with another big rebound, and he's fouled. So 2 big offensive boards for Miles Studi.
And I guess he apologized to his coach, but that has nothing to apologize for. 2 big offensive rebounds, hustling to the ball for Studi.
Studi offers from Georgetown, Oklahoma State, Penn State, Seton Hall, among others. He's a good player for this Gonzaga team, considered one of the leaders on this team as well as only a junior.
Studi and Weber are matching up. The inside game is going to be key for both teams.
Drive inside. And lost the handle right in front of the Bishop O'Connell student section. Quite the collection of people here tonight for Bishop O'Connell, as you see on the top left of your screen. A lot of blue.
Yeah, they have their theme nights. This is the first time they actually had this school colors. Usually they're dressed in sports gear or like pajamas or something like that. I like the blue, though.
All blue. Teal dribbles around. That's in the corner. 3-pointers up, no good for Dockery. Harris kicks to Studi. Behind the back dribble, drives inside. He's going to get tipped, I believe. That was Jake Berry. Driving. Dockery open from mid-range. This time he does get it to fall. First basket of the day for Marcus Dockery.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter right there, that mid-range.
So you can see already Dockery trying to get active in the offense. Couple of shot attempts already for him. Early 2-0 lead for Bishop O'Connell. Tough drive, floater, no good. That was Gill. In transition, Teal pushing the pace. Banks gets it back over to Teal.
Oh.
And another turnover for O'Connell in transition, and the easy layup. Gill with the first points of the day for Gonzaga.
Yeah, sloppy for both teams to start out in the new year.
And you could feel this building, maybe not tense, but definitely excited for the first action of 2019. Wild shot. He's going to get fouled. So Teal will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Watts thought he had all ball. The referee disagreed.
So Ian Teal, we saw his name a lot last year as well. Doesn't have an offer from Southern Utah. Was a very quick point guard for this O'Connell team, and as a senior, they're going to look to him for a lot of leadership this season, according to head coach Joe Wooten.
Yeah,
first one's good.
Last year, O'Connell's main guy was Xavier Johnson. I had to shout him out because he's doing some great things up in my alma mater of Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
Hopefully this weekend they could do even better things as they take on UNC. I know you are going to be watching that game with great interest.
A freshman at Pittsburgh, as Yannick already mentioned, also was the WCAC Player of the Year last year, was Xavier Johnson. So both free throws good for Teal. And Harris will set the offense up for Gonzaga. Gonzaga, the last time they were on our network, had a great performance against St. John's. That man right there, Terrence Williams, couldn't get the bucket to go, but he led that charge. So that foul is going to be called on Jamal Banks, number 0 in white. It'll remain Gonzaga basketball. Lost the handle. It's another turnover. Banks in transition. Goes right at Stute and gets the bucket. Tough shot there from Jamal Banks. Jumper is up, no good. Tip in almost good from a Bishop O'Connell player. O'Connell will again go in transition. Nice defense, though, in transition from Gill. Deep three-pointers up. That's no good for Dockery. And the pace so far, up-tempo to say the least. Is it a block or a charge? It is a charge call.
Easy call.
So that foul going against number 2, Brendan Leveroni. I'm sorry. My apologies, folks. That was number 2, Chuck Harris. Chuck Harris. Offensive foul, Yannick.
Yeah. Easy call. You know, the pace is in O'Connell's favor, but I think they still want to be a little bit more precise on the offensive end. A little bit too scatterbrained right now.
Teal, drive inside, dishes it. Floater is up. That one is no good. Gonzaga basketball again, pushing that pace in transition. Reverse layup is up. That's no good, but a foul. So Gill will go to the free throw line.
Pretty good fake by Watts. I thought he was going up for the layup and was able to dish it out and get the foul call for his guy, Gill.
So Gill at the line. He's got offers from George Mason, High Point, James Madison, just to name a few. First one, no good. Considered to be the best defender on this Gonzaga team, and that's saying something because Gonzaga historically has been a very good defensive team. Head coach Steve Turner has developed a very good defense at the high school level here at Gonzaga. Neither free throw is good there, though, for Gill. In transition we go. Dockery puts the layup up. Can't get it to go in. Rolled and hit every part of the rim. Couldn't go through the net. Harris. He'll fall short. Freeman gets it to Dockery. Thinks about it. Has it picked off by Gill. There's that defense on display. In transition with the left hand. Couldn't get it to go. And Banks will come down with the rebound. He'll push the pace. In transition, Dockery off the glass. Can't get it to go. So a couple good chances for Dockery at the hoop. Can he get the third one to go? No. So 3 straight missed layups at the rim for Dockery. Good chances for O'Connell early.
Yes.
Still a 6-2 lead for the home team. Williams.
Good double.
Tries to find Gill inside. He can't. He's guarded by Banks. Gill goes inside. Stolen by Dockery. Teal in transition. Look at the speed and the nice feed. That's Charlie Weber with the finish. 8-2 lead.
He had like another gear because he was going fast and then he just switched it to another gear. Blew past all the defenders, able to drive, draw, and dish.
It's the speed for Teal. We said it a lot over the course of his high school career. Now a senior. No different tonight. So Gonzaga finds themselves down 8-2 early.
They need an easy basket. Everything's been tough.
Starters getting a lot of rep here. A lot of run, I should say. Williams can't get that jump shot to go. No subs yet for Gonzaga. Teal thinks about it. Opts to pass. Banks drives inside. He'll kick it out. 3-pointers up. No good. And you have to think, Yannick, early on, O'Connell's had a lot of nice shots on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Still up 8-2, but Gonzaga's got to feel a little good about only being down 6 right now with over 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Exactly, and this is kind of, yeah, there you go. There's your easy basket.
So Williams gets that bucket to go. And it looks like the official is looking at Charlie Weber's jersey potentially for.
Yeah, he doesn't even know where it came from.
So he'll have to take a break here, it looks like. There comes all the subs. So a track meet early on, still only 8-4. But certainly a number of shot attempts for both teams. And you're looking at the size for this O'Connell team. Charlie Weber goes to the bench. In comes Jake Berry, number 22 in white. They've got plenty of height, plenty of size on the front court. Now for Gonzaga, it was an interesting start to the season. They lost early games to McNamara and Abington out of Pennsylvania. Yeah. Stark contrast to last season when they didn't suffer their first loss until January 9th. That's further on in the calendar year right now. Yeah. However, they did lose those 2 games. They are still 9-2, had that great comeback against St. John's in December. And they also just went 3-0 at the Slam Dunk to the Beach Tournament in Delaware over the holiday break. They defeated Albany Academy, Our Savior New American School, and Liberty High School. Of the people on the team, Chuck Harris averaged the most points per game, just under 16 points per game in that tournament.
And in the last rankings for the Washington Post, they have them at number 2. O'Connell is not shabby themselves, number 5. And look at that. If top 6 teams, 5 of them are from the WCAC. This league is loaded every year.
And with the mere exception being Wilson, a team that is as good as anyone in the WCAC this season, including teams like DeMatha and Paul VI. Paul VI, of course, ravaged by injuries at the beginning of the year, but still finding ways to win. And speaking of, it's a great transition into where we find ourselves with Bishop O'Connell at this standpoint. Only 1 loss so far in WCAC play. Came at home to Paul VI. They had a 20-point lead in that game, Bishop O'Connell did. Paul VI finds its way all the way back. They get the come-from-behind victory, and I believe this was in the double-digit straight wins over O'Connell. But Paul VI seemed to have their number, but nonetheless, both of these teams you're seeing today right in the mix for the WCAC. And Yannick, you mentioned this already. All 5 teams in that top 6 in the All-Met rankings have a chance to win this conference this year, and you got to also take a look at some of the outsiders looking in, and Bishop McNamara potentially a team that could find their way near that top 5. But head coach Steve Turner said last month that he felt there really were 5 teams that had a shot at going anywhere from 1st to 5th place in very, very tough high school league. So after a quick break, wipe down the courts, brand new, can't have it looking dirty.
Yeah.
We're back in action.
This is really nice for high school to have this type of facility.
Teal. What a fake. The crowd loves it. The jump shot good for him. 10-4, Bishop O'Connell.
Great facility, great players like Teal. to watch on it.
Studi drives inside. Off the glass, no good. Banks with the rebound. Knocked out of his hands. Finds it, and in transition we go again. Another layup attempt. This one is good. That's Brayon Freeman with the layup. 12-4 lead now for the Knights.
They are pushing the ball, outlet passing with abandon right now for O'Connell.
So the O'Connell student section making some noise now. Can Gonzaga respond? Williams hasn't been able to do much in this first quarter. Studi, another good drive. Can't get that one to go. Williams with the offensive board. Loses it. May have dribbled it out of bounds. Called it a double dribble. So turnovers aplenty in this first quarter, Yannick.
Yeah, Gonzaga is just not together. And they're known for their discipline and keeping things tight, but they have been kind of scattered in this first quarter.
They lost a number of players. Prentice Hub, a freshman at Notre Dame, didn't get a chance to play a lot because of injury last year. And Miles Dredd, a freshman at Penn State, another guy that graduated. His little brother still on this team, Malcolm Dredd. Tough move by Banks. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound is up. He gets that one. Nice start to the game for Jamal Banks.
Gonzaga needs some easy baskets. All their shots.
Ooh. Gill almost had the ball taken away from him by Freeman.
Yeah.
A one-on-one matchup in the most literal sense possible. Both have number 1 on the jersey.
Good observation.
Thank you, thank you.
But yeah, other than the Terrence Williams layup, all these shots have been contested very well by, so credit O'Connell's defense, but Gonzaga needs to have a play or an action to get some easy looks.
So Devin Dinkins, number 0 in purple, the freshman, is getting some run here in the first quarter. Coach Turner trying to get something going for this team. Studi. Williams, I should say. That one goes. Big three-pointer for Gonzaga. Peterson dishes it. Banks will pull it back out. Guarded tightly by Studi.
5 seconds.
Shot is up. No good. 2 seconds, 1 second. He'll get the shot off the front of the iron. No good. So a big three-pointer from Terrence Williams near the end of that first quarter brings it to within 7. It's 14-7. Knights on top of the Eagles here at Bishop O'Connell. By the way, guys, WGL is proud to be the official and exclusive energy and greening partner for the Capital City Go-Go, Washington Wizards, Capitals, Mystics, and Capital One Arena. Learn more at WGL.com. And when we're talking about energy, Onyx, certainly the energy in the building all around us, not only in the stands but on the court. A lot of running early on. Both teams not afraid to get out in transition.
Yeah, you're seeing what O'Connell wants to do. You see what O'Connell wants to do. They're trying to push the ball at every rebound. They're pushing it up, like passes to half court, trying to catch Gonzaga running back. I think O'Connell, they feel that they have the athletic advantage, so they're trying to take advantage of that and get easy layups on the other end in transition. And Gonzaga, they're playing a little bit faster, and they're trying to get some threes in transition as well. Those have not been falling, but you were at the St. John's game when Gonzaga was down, and they managed to crawl their way back in it. So I think they feel that they're in a good place right now.
That was a great comeback against St. John's, and some great performances there. And Terrence Williams, the man who just put in that three-pointer near the end of the first quarter, he had 14 of his 16 points in the second half, really led that charge. Certainly can't count out either of these teams, but Eagles already have some experience coming back against a tough opponent on the road in the WCAC. Teal, floater, that's going to fall well short. He will save the ball, though, gets his own rebound, somehow ends up in the hands of
that's Weber, New Jersey.
of Weber with the New Jersey. Weber is now wearing number 31.
Yeah. It's like Superman going in the phone booth, changing his uniform.
Studi with another three-point attempt. Can't seem to find his stroke early on here. Teal. Guarded by the freshman. Get it inside. Tough move by the big man. Can't get it to go. Almost gets his rebound. No good. Harris. Wild cross-court pass. Somehow ends up in the hands of Malcolm Dredd. Two-pointer. Good for Dredd. Teal.
Oh.
Tough drive inside. Boy, has he looked good in this first half.
Yeah, not much you can do against that speed. No help defense for Gonzaga on that one.
Harris slowing it down a little bit here for Gonzaga. Perhaps a pick and roll action with Terrence Williams. Opt to pass out instead. It's back over to Harris. And this is an interesting matchup right here. Tough move from Williams. A little too strong on the layup. Gets his own rebound. And he's going to go to the free throw line.
That boy strong, man. Strong move on the block to get in position for the layup, and then I was able to get his rebound.
So Williams, someone who absolutely can score 20-plus every night, averaging a little under 20 points per game this season. First one's good for him. And yeah, sorry, go ahead, Yannick.
I'm sorry. He's the type of guy in a game like this when the offenses struggle for the entire team. He's the one that will keep you in the game.
Already we've seen him get it done both outside and inside, hitting from three-point range, and tough offensive rebound and second chance attempt that led to these two free throws. Second one is good. So an 18-11 lead for O'Connell. Wow, wide open in the corner is Dockery. Can't get that one to go. Hasn't found his shooting stroke quite yet, but an offensive board. It's Banks from three-point land. That's no good. Williams will collect the rebound. Harris.
Ooh.
Wild attempt. Late foul call called. And I believe that foul was called against number 22, Jake Berry. Oh, against Peterson. My apologies. Wes Peterson was the person caught with the foul there. First free throw is good for Chuck Harris. And Chuck Harris offers from Penn State and Providence. He learned under guys like Chris Likes, who's at University of Miami, Prentice Hubb at Notre Dame. These are guys that you love being associated with if you're Chuck Harris. Second attempt is no good. Peterson from three. Couldn't get it to go. Both teams struggling to shoot the ball in this first half. Harris drives inside. He'll find Williams. He'll shoot from three. Gets it to go. Call it his hot spot. 2 3-pointers from that same area. It's a 3-point game. Freeman. And you can't see it on the camera, folks, but a big Gonzaga contingent on the bottom right corner of your screen. Inside, it's Banks. Drives. Tough. Gets fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for two. Now, these two teams have played each other very close in recent history. Just last year, in their home and home, it was tied 1-1. Each team winning on their home floor. First free throw, no good for Banks. Last January was Gonzaga, who won by 1 point at home against O'Connell, and then O'Connell the next month, they won by 4 points at home against Gonzaga. And at the time, that was a pretty big upset. Gonzaga, one of the best teams, not only in the area, but really in the United States last year. When your average margin of victory is less than 3 points for these teams. Second one is good for Banks.
Oh, do I see a press? Okay.
Perhaps head coach Joe Wooten wanting to get back to that tough defense we saw in the beginning of the game. And it's hard not to mention the name Wooten without getting excited in this area, Yannick. He's, of course, the son of perhaps the greatest high school coach ever, but certainly in the DMV area, and that's Morgan Wooten, a legendary coach here in the DMV. And, you know, his son hasn't done too bad either. 5 Virginia State independent titles, 3 WCAC regular season titles, of course a WCAC tournament title. Translation, the Wootens can coach. Harris looks inside. Tough move. No shot. Williams will shoot from three again. Can't get that one to go. Offensive rebound. Looked like it was in the hands of Gill. The scramble on the floor ends up in Gonzaga's hands. Nearly turned over. Backwards pass! What a pass to Gill inside! That was Josiah Hardy behind the back. What a play. And it's a steal from Gill in transition. Here we go. Tie ball game. Gill in transition with the big slam. Teal fouled. He'll go to the free throw line and try to calm down some of this momentum Gonzaga has built.
Yeah, and then you can kind of see that Gonzaga now has a pace in their favor. And now that's O'Connell that's taking the tough shots. And when they get the tough shots and miss, Gonzaga's now, they're able to go out and transition and get these easy baskets.
Yeah, you're almost curious. O'Connell really got everything they wanted in that first quarter offensively. Just couldn't get a lot of those baskets to fall. Will that end up nipping them in the bud by the end of the game? First free throw is good from Teal.
I still can't get over that pass by Hardy.
You know,
the presence of mind.
An unbelievable pass. Real quickly, Yannick, on the scoreboard here, it's 2019. Welcome to the new year.
Yeah.
Teal gets the second to fall. He's smiling.
Only you.
He's laughing at my bad joke. Turnaround jump shot up for Dredd. That one's good. So Gonzaga has found their touch here in the second quarter. That's 14 points already in the quarter. Teal drives inside, thinks about it, opts to pass. Dockery, nice fake. He'll drive inside. Tough move. He'll go to the free throw line.
It'll be interesting to see when Gonzaga's on defense, are they in the zone? I don't think anybody was outside on Weber. He was out here in the corner.
First one is good for Dockery, and you mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but Dockery committed to Maryland, 30 points in a game against Jack Yates, high school out of Texas. He made the Beach Ball Classic all-tournament team. Also gets that free throw to fall.
There's a lot of talent in this area, man. It is unbelievable. You got top 100 players all over the place in this area.
Talent, certainly intensity. If you watch Marcus Dockery play right now, unfortunately unable to get Gill to stop there. He gets the layup. Back and forth we go. Dockery, mid-range jump shots up. Nothing happening. Drive inside, layup no good. Two Gonzaga jerseys down there. Ends up in the hands of O'Connell. Three-point attempt. No good. O'Connell continues to struggle from distance. Certainly have had plenty of open looks. Gill for three. That one falls. First lead of the ball game for the Eagles.
Gill has been the monster in this quarter, man. He has 9.
Both ends of the floor. Weber trying to get something going in and out. Story of the second quarter so far for the Knights. 26-23, Gonzaga on top here at Bishop O'Connell in the second quarter. You're watching the Monumental Sports Network High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL. Dan Nolan, Yannick Scarrett on the call. Everything but the basket on that shot attempt. Rebounds there for Dredd. He follows it up and gets the basket to go.
And that was caused by Williams with the tip out, and Dredd was able to get the ball and get the shot.
Dockery, nice move inside, finishes with the left. And O'Connell loves to see that. Their best offensive player may be heating up here.
Yeah, they needed that basket. Gonzaga was starting to run away with it.
Three-point attempt for Williams. Wide open. He'll get all three of those as he points right at the O'Connell bench. You didn't think this was a rivalry. Maybe you saw it right there. Three-point attempt, no good for Teal. Harris in transition.
Oh, wow.
Gets it inside. There it is, and Williams eating it up. Tough jumper there. Not going to fall. Foul is going to go against Weber under the glass. And this Gonzaga team is fired up. All of a sudden, down by as many as I believe 10 in this one.
Yeah,
it was 14-4 at one point. It is an 8-point lead, 33-25. And entering this quarter, correct me if I'm wrong, Yannick, scores 14-7.
Yep.
I'd say a lot has changed in this second quarter.
26 to 11 run, 15-point swing.
So Williams will go to the line 1-1 as they're in the bonus. First one's good for Williams.
It's easy to say that, shots started falling, but I think it's the defensive end. That's where they kind of started this run, and they were able to get easier baskets on the other end. And
you love seeing this from Williams, the intensity he's shown, also the showmanship.
Yeah.
This is something we saw a little bit last year. We've certainly seen it this year so far. Now a junior in this WCAC, perhaps feeling a little bit more confident.
I'm sure he believes that he's the best player in the pound for pound in this league. He carries himself like that.
Certainly got a lot of competition.
Oh, yes, he does. I didn't say I thought he was the best, but I believe he thinks he's the best. I'm not going to pull a LeBron out here. I'm sure he's not going to pull a LeBron either.
Topical.
I try to be.
So a double-digit lead for the Eagles. And O'Connell just trying to get something going to get a little momentum heading into that second half. Dockery, tough shot off the glass. Can't get it to go. Again in transition. Gill thinks about it, opts to drive instead, off the front of the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound, dishes it outside to Dredd, floaters up, that's no good. Studi with the offensive rebound. Extra pass, Gill for three, no good. Looks like it might be an over-the-back call. It is going to be the call. It's going to be on Malcolm Dredd.
Yeah.
But you see Gonzaga's play really picked up 3 offensive rebounds from 3 different players.
Yes, they did, and then they didn't rush a shot. Good ball movement. Gill, I'm sure coach will say, you got to make that shot, young man, but great ball movement to try to go from a good shot to an even better shot.
Teal. Trying to find something inside. Decides to drive inside himself. Gets blocked. And fouled. Mr. Harris appears to disagree.
Yeah, I thought he slipped a little bit. Referee thought he was pushed. He was aided in his slip, so that's why he's going to the line.
So perhaps one of the bright spots in this first half for O'Connell was the play of Ian Teal. He had 20 points and 5 assists against North Crowley, a school out of Texas, earlier this season. First one's good for him. Yannick, you've coached in this area, you've officiated in this area, you've played basketball at some level. Some level in this area.
On some playground.
There you go. What do you tell your team at halftime if you're Bishop O'Connell, as the second free throw is good for Teal?
I mean, you say, hey, the Gonzaga's a good team, and they're going to give us a punch. We weren't ready for that punch, but now it's the time to make some adjustments. We got to get the pace back in our favor. We got some decent shots in the second quarter. They just didn't fall. So it's going to even out.
Jab step, nice move inside. That's no good for Dinkins. Teal will push it. It is important to remember this matchup right now is a senior against a freshman. You wonder if Teal's going to take advantage. He's calling for a pick here. Switch is on. Corner three is up. Well short of the hoop. Almost a save by Dockery. Will be out of bounds, though, on O'Connell. Important to look at that clock, Yannick. 3.5 seconds remaining. Gonzaga up 8. All right, Gill, look at the last shot attempt. It looks like at the half. No, he'll pass it. 3-pointer's up, just short. You say a tale of two halves. I say a tale of 2 quarters. It was 14-7, O'Connell on top after one. Not the case at the end of the first half. It's Gonzaga 35-27 on top here at Bishop O'Connell. By the way, if you're watching, well, congratulations. You are doing something great for yourself in this new year. You're watching Monumental Sports Network's High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL. Tune in each week for some of the best high school basketball in the DMV. We got a good one for you here, guys. 35-27, Gonzaga on top. We'll be back after this with more High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL on Monumental Sports Network. Welcome back to Bishop O'Connell High School. Gonzaga on top of O'Connell, 35-27 after one half here in Virginia. But let's take a look at how important this game is for both schools. I know it's January, but in WCAC action, when things are this close, you got to win all the games you can. And as you can see, both teams 3-1 in WCAC play. DeMatha and Paul VI, the two favorites entering this season, each 3-0 so far. One of those wins for Paul VI came against this O'Connell team on this very floor. And perhaps the surprise so far, Bishop McNamara, 3-1 record so far, Yannick. And again, the importance of these games sometimes gets overstated, but when there's so many good teams in terms of how you're going to get positioned in the playoffs, each game does matter when it comes to these matchups.
And especially for O'Connell, this is a home game. You got to take advantage of these home matchups. They dropped one already to Paul VI here, so they don't want to drop two, especially two winnable games. They were up big against Paul VI, and in this game they had a good start before squandering it.
You know, last season, O'Connell actually got a number of big wins on this home floor. Struggled to win those games on the road, and that's the reason they ended up dropping past that upper tier of the WCAC last season. Last year, head coach Joe Wooten called that team an unheralded team. He thought everyone was doing what they needed to. He thought Weber was playing well. He thought Teal was playing well. And they just not overachieved, but again, unheralded, the word he used. This season, expectations a little higher for this Bishop O'Connell squad. And the Knights came out great in that first quarter, but it was all Gonzaga in the second quarter, and they were led by Terrence Williams, Yannick. 15 points for him, and Gill, 11 points. And some great defense on the other end of the floor. Those two, 26 points combined, 26 of the 35 in this game so far for Gonzaga.
Yeah, they were electric in that second quarter, especially Gill in transition threes. Terrence Williams just doing everything, as usual.
Harris
to
Studi. How you like me now?
Now that's how you start. Get out of halftime. Get the energy up to 100 quick.
Wake up, fans. Weber responds.
There you go.
The big men getting it started here in this second half.
Good execution by both teams to start the second half.
Williams matched up against Banks. This was a fun one to watch in the first half. Williams, tough move inside, gets the layup to fall. Make it 17 points today so far for him.
That dude's gifted at the game of basketball, man.
Drive inside, Peterson. Over the outstretched hands of Studi. Nice move there from Wes Peterson. Scout from George Washington is in the building today. Peterson has an offer from GW. Interested to see what the scout thinks of his play so far today. Off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound opportunity is there for Harris. Foul called inside, though. That was against Ian Teal. Now, Teal, one of the main bright spots for that O'Connell team in the first half, 10 points, a number of assists as well. Dockery had 6 points, and Banks had 5. Williams, off the glass, no. Falls well short. Dockery gathers it. Teal thinks about it. Opts to dribble instead. Some jawing back and forth between the two student sections.
Gonzaga student section.
Teal, 10 seconds left in the shot clock. There's a wild one up at the hoop, and it goes in! Boy, we have seen some highlights today.
Highlights today, highlights this quarter.
Teal somehow gets that ball to go through the hoop. His first basket of the third quarter. And one to remember.
And a lot of times, especially young kids, they go for the contact, but they don't try to finish. That time Teal fought through that contact, so that's impressive of his strength to be able to get that runner to go.
Teal can't get the free throw, however. Weber gets the rebound, tips it out to his own man. Banks gathers it.
The marching Gortat rebound to tip out to your teammate.
Reminder, it was 35-27 entering this half. 39-33 now. O'Connell having an opportunity to cut it to even less. Dockery does just so. The lead is down to 4.
And that's what...
A lot of jawing going on between the coaches now.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on.
Nonetheless, an impressive run here to start the third quarter from the Knights. This lead has now been cut down to 4, and as we've been reminded many times, Yannick, basketball is a game of runs. Right now, O'Connell is on a run. Gill, guarded by Peterson. Splits the double team, drives inside, left-handed finishes up, no good. Almost gets the rebound. Banks gathers it. We're moving in transition. Banks finds his man in the corner. It's Dockery for 3. Oh, off the rim. Weber with the offensive rebound and one.
They gave him
the push off. Offensive foul.
They gave him the push, yeah. I didn't think he touched anybody, but
Coach Turner likes it. He gives Gill a high five.
Good box out. Yeah, there you go.
He's gathering his breath. So an offensive foul called on Weber on that last possession. It'll be Gonzaga basketball. Harris, tough mid-range jumper, falls well short. He's on the ground. O'Connell's moving in transition. Peterson looking for someone, finds Teal. Dockery, guarded by Williams. Gets it to the corner to Teal. Weber for 3. Off the back of the iron. Everyone chasing it. Weber ends up with it. He gets it inside. Dockery, mid-range jump shot, off the glass, no good. You wonder if he should have perhaps moved towards the hoop after that offensive rebound there.
But impressive hustle by Weber.
Gill, spin move. Speak of an impressive move. And you shall receive. Gill with another impressive offensive possession. Teal off the glass, couldn't get it to go. Weber with the follow. We saw a similar track meet in the first quarter. Both teams now successfully hitting those baskets. Williams. Looks like a no call under the basket. Banks was going for the charge. Won't matter. There was a travel called.
Yeah, that's a right call. It was a late call, but that was the right call.
Now, Yannick, another interesting part of this game that we noticed at halftime. If we're correct, no timeouts have been called so far. Both coaches letting their guys play, and both teams have put on some impressive performances. They've had to work through some not so impressive performances so far, and it's still a 4-point game here with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, not a lot of overcoaching from both these excellent coaches.
Teal drives inside, kicks it to the corner. Peterson for 3. That one's good. 41-40, the lead cut to 1 as the Eagles try to get something going. Toe may have been on the line on that shot. Let's see what they call it.
2.
They call it a 2-pointer. Nonetheless, a nice basket for Harris to slow down this O'Connell run. Banks, guarded by Williams. Tough move, left-handed layup off the glass and good.
It's a fun game, Dan. It's really fun.
No kidding. Harris gets it to Gill. Perhaps Gonzaga looking a little bit tired here. Gill, floater falls short. Through the hands of Stute, ends up in the hands of Harris. He'll shoot from 3. Somehow gets it to go. Shooters roll on the road. 46-42, Gonzaga on top. Teal. Fadeaway 3-pointer off the front of the rim. And it'll be Gonzaga ball. Harris, drive inside, dishes it to Williams for 3. Falls short. Another offensive rebound for Gonzaga, though, and that was really the story in the second quarter. They did such a nice job on the offensive glass, resulted in a number of second-chance opportunities. Williams drives inside, guarded by Teal. Definitely a mismatch. Somehow ends up with the rebound, gets fouled on the next attempt. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2, and he's feeling himself.
Yeah, he's a machine, man. Doesn't come out of the games, playing that all 32 minutes, getting boards. Leading scorer, he's just a Swiss Army knife for this Gonzaga team.
First one is good for Williams. It certainly looks as though he's going to top his season high for sure. 20 points against McNamara earlier this season.
I think he's at 18 right now, unless I missed a basket or two.
And
which
counting. Second attempt is good. Hits them both. Freeman. It's up in the hands of Peterson. Freeman drives inside. Off the glass and good. Nice move there by Brayon Freeman. Offers from Florida, GW, UMass, Oklahoma State, among others. Rainbow three is up, no good. Dockery with the rebound. And he'll push the pace. This one's up again from Freeman. Three-pointer, nothing but net. The crowd loves it. The bench loves it. And it's back to a one-point game.
Yeah, I thought Gill rushed a shot down here for Gonzaga, and that led to that three in the corner for Freeman.
The Freeman had 19 points and 7 assists against Jack Yates out of Texas earlier this season. And he's starting to heat up here in this third quarter. Dredd picks up his dribble.
Oh, boy.
Looking for someone. 1 second left on the shot clock. That's going to be a violation.
Great defense.
So you mentioned it, Coach Scarrett, at halftime. You're going to take some punches, but O'Connell, a punch of their own here in the third quarter. 1:29 remaining. Only a 1-point deficit.
And you mentioned it before with the timeouts. It's impressive that these coaches have let them play like, hey, things are going bad. I trust you guys to turn it around by yourselves on the court.
Freeman. Another tough shot gets it to go. And it's the first lead of the second half. The first lead for quite a long time for this Knights squad.
Freeman was supposed to start this game. They switched him out for Peterson. I mean, I don't know. The way he's scoring right now, they might have to keep him in the starting lineup for the rest of the season.
Both are certainly looking impressive so far. Deep three-pointers up.
Whoa.
That one's good for the freshman, Jamal Banks.
Is that Banks or Dinkins?
Devin Dinkins, my apologies. Thank you, Yannick. Freeman gets it to Peterson. Dockery.
He's been
Dribbling
quiet.
everywhere.
Dockery's been quiet in this game, hasn't he?
So where was the foul called? On Banks, I believe, there. Number 0 in white.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it was on number 24. That was on Peterson. So Devin Dinkins, number 0 in purple, is currently inbounding the basketball with a big three-pointer on the last possession. Gonzaga back up top. No shot clock here. Looks like they'll probably take the last shot of the third quarter, and no matter what, we're in for a treat here in the final frame. Dredd for three. Off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound, almost there.
They did not listen.
Jackson couldn't collect it.
They did not listen to you, Coach Dan. They took a shot with 12 seconds left.
It's a great point because 11 seconds now remaining in this quarter. Definitely enough time to get a good shot. Spin move.
Oh, nice.
Banks for three. Almost gets it in. The tip is good. Right at the buzzer.
Wow.
Well, WCAC action is pretty darn good, Yannick. This game has been all over the place. But as we enter the fourth quarter, let's start fresh, huh? 51-51 tie ball game. Gonzaga, O'Connell going back and forth. You can take the game with you wherever you are. Watch the high school basketball showcase presented by WGL on Monumental Sports Network's iOS or Android mobile apps. I'm talking iPhones. I'm talking Androids. I'm talking tablets and laptops. You watch on Roku? We got you. You watch on Apple TV?
Maybe.
We got you. Amazon Fire Stick? We got you. Watch everywhere. And right now, you're looking at the O'Connell huddle here. And the O'Connell student section going wild in the top right corner. And what a run from them in that third quarter,
Oh, yeah.
It was 28-13 in the second quarter in favor of Gonzaga. But, man, it was a big-time response, an 8-point edge for O'Connell in the third quarter. led largely by a number of players, but Brayon Freeman really put it forward there at the end of the third quarter.
24-16 run for O'Connell. Freeman with his 7 points off the bench. Spark plug for the team, his quickness. Great dish on the his spin move for the three. And even though it was a miss, those are the type of winning plays that they're going to need down the stretch.
So a number of highlights got that third quarter started, but the pace never died down. We'll see if it continues here in the fourth quarter. Banks drives inside, gets past Williams easily. 53-51, Knights on top. Gill, mid-range, falls short. And Gill looks tired in this second half, Yannick. He did a lot in the first half for this Gonzaga squad. Drive inside. Banks gets blocked inside by Gill. A foul will be called on Gill, though.
On the pass, I thought that was good defense. But Gill, like you said, a little bit tired, a little bit slow getting into position.
As we mentioned, the best defender on this Gonzaga team. And he's been a big part of why Gonzaga led for the majority of the second and third quarter on both ends of the floor, not only on defense but on offense as well.
This is an interesting chant.
Well, we are at a school.
Yeah,
it's good to be educated.
Yes.
ABCs.
Gonzaga's been around for a long time, 1800s, down in Northwest D.C.
Dockery, side of the backboard. In transition we go. Elbow jump shots up. That's no good for the freshman.
Quick. Yeah, that was
Stute with the offensive rebound. Gill to Williams, three-pointer. That one's no good. And it's going to be a loose ball foul called against, I believe, Wade Jackson.
I know the pace has been up and down, but I think both coaches would like their teams to settle down, take good shots as we go down the stretch.
Dockery gets it Peterson. Kick it to Banks. A lot of driving and kicking. This drive and kick results in a three-point attempt off the back of the iron. No good. Stute, double teamed. He'll get it out. The open man. Three-pointer is up and good. Devin Dinkins. And a timeout called. A monumental occasion on the Monumental Sports Network. A timeout called in the fourth quarter. And nice three-pointer there. Devin Dinkins, a couple big shots in the second half for Gonzaga.
And that started with Stute being astute. See what I did there?
I do.
And kicking it back out. Great ball rotation, finding the open man for the open three.
Dare I say an astute observation from you, Yannick Scarra. So to recap kind of how we got here, we're looking at the huddle for Gonzaga.
Yes.
They got off to a great start in the second quarter, carried that momentum into the second half.
Yes.
O'Connell got off to a great start in the first quarter. Then in the third quarter, they dominated.
Yes.
All's well that ends well. 51-51. At the end of three quarters, we've seen some great performances from each of the team's best players. We've seen guys like Brayon Freeman coming off the bench. He's done a nice job, but Charlie Weber, someone that hasn't been said a lot today, he's starting to put up numbers in the second half. Ian Teal got off to a great start for Bishop O'Connell, and on the other side, Gonzaga's had Terrence Williams and Anwar Gill. Both of them have had good games tonight. They combined for 26 in the first half alone.
Yeah, I'm looking for, if O'Connell, you're kind of looking for Dockery to kind of get going. He's been quiet today. You need his offensive punch. And then for Gonzaga side, we mentioned it a little bit, but you want Gill to kind of get back to his mojo and put some buckets in. I'm not sure what's going on right above us, Dan. I'm nervous.
I'll protect you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Teal finds Banks. He'll drive inside once again, off the glass, and boy, that's been his bread and butter in the second half.
It's like a different person every quarter that's stepping up for this O'Connell team.
Studi has the ball poked away by Gadsden. Williams, tough drive off the glass.
Oh, no way.
Somehow gets it to go. Wild shot up there.
Yeah.
No good. You wonder if that's the right shot from Freeman.
Yeah, he should have pulled it back out. Oh.
Makes up for it with
I'm
the
sorry.
steal. In transition we go. Gets the contact and the basket.
I'm sorry, Freeman. I will not. You know what you're doing.
Savvy move from the sophomore to get the contact and the finish.
Yeah.
A chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Talking to his bench saying, I knew what I was doing the whole time.
There's a reason this guy's got so many Division I offers as a sophomore. We're seeing it in this second half. Free throw no good. Looked like Williams may have pushed Harris away for the rebound there. You don't need a Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons
rebound
situation.
sniping. What's going
Williams gets fouled. Looks like that one's going to go against Gadsden. That is. So TJ Gadsden with the foul. Gill will check back into the game. (57-56). The Knights on top of the Eagles here on the Monumental Sports Network High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL. Tough turnaround jump shot is good for Chuck Harris. Back and forth we go. Lead changes aplenty. Banks, big time drive inside off the glass.
Wow.
Big time finish.
6 1/4 for Banks.
All of them kiss off the glass with the left hand in 3 different ways. Gill, drive inside. He'll go with the right hand, his opposite hand in this case. There's a foul called underneath. Who's it on?
Yeah, I think it's Teal.
All right, it's going to be called against Teal. They have tabletops in there.
Yeah.
So another thing that we've seen potentially the fatigue contributing to, more foul calls over the last, I'd say probably 6 minutes of game time. As fast as these guys have been playing, timeout called. As we follow into the O'Connell huddle. Let's talk about this team's play, Yannick, because when we came into the game, it was Charlie Weber and Marcus Dockery we were looking to.
Yeah.
In this game, there's been 2 guys that have really put on a show in the second half specifically. That's Brayon Freeman and Jamal Banks. Boy, have they put on a show here in the second half.
And you see him there slashing to the basket. Not settling for the perimeter jumper, but slashing to the basket. And then when they slash, they're able to kick out. I think Freeman hit a corner 3 in the third quarter. Banks has just been straight slash and his kiss off the glass. So very impressive by those young men to be courageous and take it to the hole.
On the floor for each of these teams, number 0, Banks, number 1, Freeman, number 51, Dockery, number 3, Teal, and number 5, Gadsden for Bishop O'Connell. For Gonzaga, it's number 13, Josh Watts. My apologies, watching the gameplay here. Got lost. Dockery in transition. We'll get to Gonzaga in a second. Dockery in the corner. Extra pass to Teal. He'll reset the offense. Starting lineup out there for Gonzaga to keep it short. Same one we saw at the beginning of the game. Gill, Harris, Williams, Watts, and Studi.
We got
travel is called. Turnover from O'Connell.
Gonzaga, the last 3 possessions have gone into the post. Either to Gill, Studi, Williams. Look for them to do it again here. I think O'Connell's a little bit small, and they're trying to take advantage of that.
Harris finds Studi. He fakes. Dishes it back out to Gill. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. A little over 4 minutes left in regulation. Harris drive inside. How about that move?
Forget the post. We could go 5 out and drive into the basket.
Calm, cool, and collected. Dockery for 3 on the other side. Big time 3 from Marcus Dockery. The Maryland commit making it rain.
They needed him to step up. Big shot.
About 5 coaches between the two teams yelling at their teams about various things, offense and defense. Stute fakes the shot. Gill will swing it around. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Going to have to get a jumper up there. They do. Wow. Three-pointer is good. Josh Watts. We haven't said his name a lot today. The Brown commit. Big-time 3. It's the Eagles on top by 1 with 3:21 remaining.
I mean, Gonzaga, first of all, just impressive. They go in the post 3 straight possessions, a couple possessions ago. And then the last 2, hey, let's go 5 out. Let's drive and maybe dish it out for the 3 in this last possession. So they're able to beat you so many different ways. Credit to Coach Turner with his disciplined Gonzaga team. This is high-level basketball, Dan. We're in the 60s and in the fourth quarter of high school. This is really impressive, especially for a rivalry game. You think it'll be in the trenches, it'll be slow, it'll be a grinder.
Absolutely.
But they have been really letting it being free-flowing and letting it loose. And I'm impressed by both of these teams.
Outside of a dry stretch in the first quarter for each of these teams, the offenses have performed admirably, to say the least.
Yeah.
It was 14-7 O'Connell after 1. Since then, bunch of points being put on the board.
They know they're on the network, Dan, so they got to show out.
Prime time. 3-pointers up. No good. Rebound there from Gonzaga. They're going to look to try to extend this lead. And we've seen this over the last 4 or 5 possessions for Gonzaga, Yannick, slowing the pace down, really getting in the half court instead of moving in transition. Harris couldn't get that jumper to fall. Teal will push it. Amongst the trees, opts to not drive.
Ooh,
Freeman
dangerous.
almost turns it over. Dockery. 3-pointer attempt. Gets it to go. Confident stroke from Marcus Dockery. The junior, another 3-pointer. That's his second over the last minute or 2. Boy, he is up in Josh Watts' grill, too, on defense.
Yep.
10 seconds again left on the shot clock. Going to have to get a bucket up here. Nice move. Euro step inside. Anwar Gill, haven't said his name in a little bit. Tie game. Banks off the glass. Couldn't get it to go. 65 all. In transition we go. Williams will go inside. Off the glass. Can't get it to go in transition. Nice shuffle pass to half court. This time it's Freeman. He's going to go up. Gets blocked and fouled. This might shock you, but Gonzaga unhappy and O'Connell happy about foul call that goes against Gonzaga.
Never thought I'd see the day, Dan. Never thought I'd see the day.
1:42 remaining, 65 all. Freeman with a chance to make this yet another lead change. And we don't have the numbers in front of us, Yannick, but I would venture to guess that at least double-digit lead changes in the second half.
Yeah.
Weren't a lot of lead changes in the first half. Only 1, in fact. First one is good. Nothing but net for Freeman.
I'm impressed by that sophomore, man. He's not afraid to let it rip.
Couldn't get the second, but still 10 points for him in the second half alone. For one Breon Freeman. 66-65. Knights on top of the Eagles. Again, you're watching the high school basketball showcase presented by WGL on Monumental Sports Network. Dan Nolan, Yannick Scarrett. We got a good one. 1:24 remaining. Spin move by Gill. Could have been a charge. It is going to be a charge.
Great job by Banks.
Got into position, takes the charge. That's a big-time turnover.
You know who'd be impressed by that? Your guy, Coach K, would absolutely be impressed by that.
If you're insinuating that Duke takes a lot of charges because of the officiating, you're out of your mind. It's because they're well-versed in the art of taking a charge.
Oh, yes. First day of training camp.
So regardless who you compare it to, Gill now out of the game. And I'm not sure how many fouls Gill had.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see. The scoreboard on the nearest to us is on the other side. It's hard to see. That's the main scoreboard with the fouls.
Well, that if he has fouled out of this game, that is a big loss for Gonzaga. Many would argue he's been the best player for this team today.
Yeah.
Full court pressure now from Gonzaga. Teal easily will break that one. Banks. Guarded by Studi. 1 minute remaining in this game. 1 point lead for O'Connell. Freeman, floater. Falls well short. Dredd will collect the rebound. Harris, drive inside, gets fouled. Going to be a blocking foul called against Banks.
Yeah, nobody stopped the ball until he was deep in the paint. Got to stop the ball out by the perimeter. Good job by Harris being aggressive.
So Harris will go to the line to shoot two. Yannick, it was around a year ago that you and I did a game in the WCAC. It was St. John's against Gonzaga.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Your words right there are echoing in my head because you were screaming, someone's got to stop the ball, as Casey Morcell of St. John's hit the game-winning buzzer-beating layup against this very Gonzaga team. And we got a close one right here. Timeout is called. Let's take a look at the team's huddles. We're looking at O'Connell right now. Now, O'Connell has put on a show in the second half. You're taking a look at head coach Joe Wooten speaking to his team passionately. Defensively, he's got to be happy with his performance in the second half. Offensively, certainly is proud of it. Monumental Sports Network putting on some great television, some good streaming opportunities for sports, but Monumental Sports Network subscribers, they can now access on-demand Wizards and Caps games aired on NBC Sports Washington for up to 48 hours starting the day after the game or until the next game begins. Start a free trial at getmonumental.com. Some great games from the Caps and the Wizards as of late. The Wizards getting a win last night over the Atlanta Hawks. Some of the young talent getting a chance to show their stuff for the Washington Wizards. The unfortunate news coming out over the last couple of days, two of the Wizards' stars. The Wall star himself, John Wall, out for the remainder of the year. Markieff Morris will miss at least the next 6 weeks with an injury, a neck injury to be specific. So we look at Gonzaga. They step out on the floor. Harris will have 2 free throws here, a chance to take the lead or at least tie the game. Gonzaga trails by 1. Each team 3-1 in conference play. Both ranked in the top 5 in the area. Harris gets the first to fall. Substitution in the game now. Dredd comes out. Into the game comes Wade Jackson. Clutch free throws there from Harris. Both of them good. It's a 1-point lead for Gonzaga. 45 seconds remaining. O'Connell basketball. Freeman trying to get something, finds nothing. Dockery now. Drives inside. Nice move, left-handed finish up and good! What a move by Marcus Dockery. He's fired up. The home crowd is fired up. Back and forth, back and forth. It's a metronome out here.
And Dockery with 8 points in this quarter. We talked that he needed to step up in this quarter and bring some offense, and he's done it in a big way, and he's put his team up by 1.
Metronome, pendulum, whatever you want to say. This game has gone back and forth, and what a move there by Marcus Dockery.
His crossover was a killer right there, man.
And you said it entering this quarter. It's someone we haven't said his name as much as we thought we would heading into this game. He's coming off a 30-point performance for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Definitely an offensive playmaker, perhaps the best offensive player on this O'Connell team. He has stepped up down the stretch, a couple big three-pointers, and a big-time layup there. I mean, all the extension in the world.
In traffic, too.
With his opposite hand to kiss it off the glass. Impressive, to say the least.
And you don't see a lot of kids doing it with their opposite hands a lot. Actually, you don't even see people in the NBA doing it with their opposite hands. So that's very impressive by Dockery.
So again, to paint the picture, 68-67. O'Connell on top at home. It's number 2 versus number 5 in the area, Gonzaga and O'Connell. Both entered today feeling pretty good about their stance, not only in the area, but potentially making some noise in the country in due time. So here we go, Yannick. Perhaps some of the best players in the area going head-to-head, possession for possession, basket for basket.
Oh, shot clock is off too, Dan. So this may be our final possession of the game.
26.9 remaining. Harris, who's been so good in this fourth quarter for Gonzaga, will have the basketball. Williams. Timeout called. Looks like 13.3 seconds remaining in this ball game, in regulation, I should say.
I wonder if that was Coach Turner's plan, just to get it over and call another timeout, or if he didn't like what he saw, so he wanted to.
It looked like there was some confusion at the top of the key.
Yeah, and
where
like, you know,
it looked like Harris may have picked up his dribble too early, and then a lot of congestion at the top of the key.
Yeah.
6 different players, 3 on each team there, and you don't blame him for calling a timeout to try to spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah. That's probably why he saved all those timeouts. It's like, yeah, I'm going to call 2 on 1 possession, so let me save them for that.
All right, so Gonzaga's had a lot of good performers in this game. Who do you get the ball to in this kind of situation?
Oh, you got to go to Mr. Williams, number 5.
So 5 in purple, got to look for 2 in purple. Harris has been good as well. He's inbounding the basketball. Williams, guarded by Banks. He'll drive inside, spin move. Lost the basketball in the hands of Studi now. He'll throw the basketball up. Can't get it to go.
Foul.
So 6.3 seconds remaining. A wild series of events under the basket leads to the basketball falling into Studi's hands. Almost gets an and one.
Was it Dr. Banks doing a little dance? Indicating he wanted to travel, but no. Yeah, I think it was a good play.
The timeout is called by O'Connell. 6.3 seconds remaining in this game. And you're looking at the O'Connell huddle right now. Gonzaga, when they come back, are going to go to the line to shoot 2. It'll be Miles Studi, who played well in that first half. Haven't heard his name as much in the second half.
No, we haven't.
But for O'Connell, defense has been better. But, you know, both of these teams, when the offenses are playing as well as they are, some of these tough finishes that we've seen on both sides, hard to defend. But if you are Coach Wooten, what are you telling him on this possession here?
I think, one, you're probably trying to ice Studi, but I think you're saying first on that possession right there, we had great defense. Williams had to take a tough shot. We almost got the ball, but, you know, ball bounces funny. It went to Studi, so calm down. We did everything right. Keep your heads up. Still got to make 2 of these free throws.
Miles Studi, junior forward, a number of Division I offers, a chance to tie the game up. Gets the first one to go. Looking around, says
ice.
No problem.
Ice.
Shushing the O'Connell crowd. My goodness.
I was nervous for him. I was like,
The amount of trash talking in this game, I love it. I love it. The confidence is there, no doubt. Timeout now called by Coach Wooten. He's shrugging his shoulders at everyone now, trying to just show how calm he is in this situation.
It doesn't look like he's calling the play now. I'm sure he's talking about if he misses his free throw, we need to get this board, so emphasizing boxing out. And then I believe they have one more timeout. So they'll probably call the timeout and call their play for their last possession after this free throw. But you got to get the board first. First things first, if there's a miss.
Remember, after our game, guys, head over to the Capital City Go-Go game. They're playing the Maine Red Claws tonight. On the road. The first big-time free throw coming up here for Studi. 68 apiece. Chance to take the lead with 6.3 seconds remaining. Free throw is no good. Banks with the rebound.
Oh.
4 seconds left. 3 seconds
I love
left.
it.
Freeman in transition. Under the basket. Can't get it to go.
I love it.
And we're going to overtime.
First of all, I love that they did not call timeout. Something's happened. So coach is upset about something. I guess he thought he wanted a foul call on Freeman, but I don't think you could call a foul on that play. Actually, both coaches are upset. We could see Coach Turner. He was upset about something. But Coach Wooten was out to half court. Now Coach Turner's out to half court.
The amount of adrenaline in this game is enough to fuel a car.
Yeah.
It will fuel our ride home tonight, Yannick.
But what I was saying, first I like that they didn't call a timeout. They got the board. Let's get it out. I'm not going to be able to call a play for 6 seconds. We're going to let you guys win the game. Went to the basket. Good things happen when you go to the basket. Obviously, Coach Wooten thought there should have been the foul call. His guy should have been on the line to win the game. Didn't get the foul call. I thought it was a good play, good challenge by Gonzaga. Now I got to win it in OT.
All right, as a reminder, folks, on the court right now, you have number 0, Jamal Banks. Number 3, Ian Teal. Number 1, Brayon Freeman. Number 31, Charlie Weber. And number 51, Marcus Dockery for O'Connell. They are in white. And for Gonzaga, the same lineup we saw start the game, they're going to finish the game for this team. They've got number 2, Chuck Harris. Number 1, Anwar Gill. Number 13, Josh Watts. Number 22, Miles Studi. And, of course, number 5, Terrence Williams. So here we go. 4 minutes on the clock. Overtime, 68 apiece. And the tip will start with Gonzaga. Watts finds Studi inside. Spin move off the glass, off the front of the iron. Can't get it to go. Offensive foul is called. Waiting for who it's on. Looks like it's against
Williams.
Terrence Williams, number 5. And head coach Steve Turner, not a fan of the call, to say the least.
Yeah, I would have just called out of bounds and let him play.
And something else to note here, both teams in the bonus. So both teams in the bonus in this overtime period. Jamal Banks at the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Banks gets the first. Second one good. 2 big free throws from Jamal Banks. 70-68. 3:40 remaining in this overtime period. You're watching the High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL on Monumental Sports Network. Dan Nolan, Yannick Scarrett, Roan Ross on camera. It's been a good one so far. Terrence Williams inside. Can't get the layup to go. Offensive rebound in Gill's hands. Can't get it to go. The entire Gonzaga bench calling for a foul. They wanted it on Charlie Weber. Looked like he got ball from where I'm standing.
I'm going to take your word for it. Don't ask Coach Turner what he thought about it.
Nonetheless, it is O'Connell basketball. Banks, spin move. Somehow maintains his dribble.
Oh, wow.
Shot is open for Weber. Gets it to go. 3-pointer for Charlie Weber. Haven't heard his name a lot. Just the right time. Gill inside. Sorry, not Gill. That was Watts inside on the drive. So Josh Watts, quick move to bring the game back to within 3.
Yeah, good take. Usually you see the kids, they shoot the 3, but he's like, no, I'm going to take it. Fights through a little bit of contact, not enough for the foul call, and was able to get it off the glass.
So Charlie Weber with a big 3-pointer.
Yes.
For Bishop O'Connell, and then a quick play in transition from Gonzaga. And a nice move from Josh Watts. As we go over to the O'Connell bench, it will be their basketball as we come back here in about 30 seconds. Yeah, I got to ask you, Yannick. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you loving the High School Basketball Showcase presented by WGL on Monumental Sports Network?
definitely loving this game and all the games on High School Showcase.
I got to say, you got to tell your friends. Visit getmonumental.com, getmonumentalhs.com to subscribe for all your high school sports.
And thank you to WGL for presenting all of these games all season long. Another great one in the books here.
WGL bringing the energy on Monumental Sports Network, but it's O'Connell and Gonzaga bringing the energy on the basketball court. Freeman, a lot of dribbling. He'll drive inside. Tough finish off the glass, gets it to go. Freeman continues to impress in the second half and overtime. Harris. Some good defense right now from O'Connell. Studi, hook shot off the front of the rim. Foul is called. Some emphasis on the official call there. That call is going to go against.
I can't see who it went on. Is it
not
Weber?
Sure either. I thought he put a 2 up in the air. I was kind of confused. Nonetheless, foul's called. So Miles Studi will go to the line to shoot 2. Remember, Studi made that big free throw to tie the game. Missed the second attempt. And in transition, Freeman had a pretty good shot at a game winner. Couldn't get it to go. We went to overtime. Now it's 75-70. O'Connell on top. A little bit of everything in this overtime so far. Some big plays from Charlie Weber, Marcus Dockery, Brayon Freeman. And on the other side, it's Miles Studi with a chance to cut this game back to 3. First free throw is good.
Yeah, I believe Weber fouled out of the game.
Substitution now. Malcolm Dredd checking in for Gonzaga, number 12 in purple. Also in the game, number 3 in purple, Wade Jackson. If you didn't see him before, Miles Studi out of the game. Interesting, not a lot of height on the floor right now for Gonzaga or for O'Connell for that matter.
Yeah, everybody going small. They're trying to press extended defense right now.
Freeman gets it across half court. Step back three-pointer. Just in and out. Rebound in the hands of TJ Gadsden, number 5 in white. Teal, number 3 in white, will bring the basketball up for O'Connell. For O'Connell, you don't have to rush a shot here. Up 3, minute 30 remaining. Teal, drive inside. Off the glass, gets fouled.
Great fake.
Ian Teal, the senior leader on this team, got off to a fast start. Certainly making some big plays down the stretch.
I didn't understand that chant. Trying to throw off Teal. I don't think he did either. Switched it.
Both free throws good for Ian Teal. 77-72. O'Connell up top. Gonzaga, you think, needs to get a basket on this possession. Down 5 with a minute 10 remaining. Harris, tough jumper with the hands in his face. Timeout called by Gonzaga.
That's a clutch basket right there.
And Chuck Harris has really put together a really nice second half and overtime.
Yep.
Fourth quarter and overtime, really.
I believe he has 12 in this second half if you include overtime.
Offers from Penn State, Providence. I mentioned his name earlier. He learned under guys like Chris Likes, like Prentice Hubb, both at Division I colleges now. He's got the ability to score. Had a season-high 18 against Carroll. Now you're starting to see what he could do on both ends of the floor. Defensively, he's done a nice job as well. And he's really calmed down Gonzaga in a number of situations today.
When they needed the basket, he has come through with the basket. You see Coach Turner with the huddle right there. They definitely need a stop right now on O'Connell, so he's going over his coverages. Let's see if they've done a press coming out of timeouts, full court press. Let's see if they stick with that or if they're going to just fall back into their man-to-man half-court defense.
Certainly fired up in the huddle. And why not? Overtime.
Yeah.
If you're not fired up now, when are you going to get fired up?
I mean, this is just the beginning of, well, we've had a couple of WCAC games, but I think like 2. But this is just the beginning of the games that we'll have. We have a girls' game actually tomorrow.
That's right.
PVI and McNamara, the 2 best teams. Well, actually, not the 2 best teams.
There's one team that would like to differ in St. John's.
They're going for number 2 probably in WCAC.
That's right. Paul VI, though, as good as many teams in the country.
Yes.
A slower start this year than many expected, but number 15, Owusu for Paul VI. That girls' team, boy, they are talented. The Maryland commit there is Ashley Owusu. Back to this game. 1 minute remaining. O'Connell with the basketball. Teal gets it to Dockery. Jump shots up. No good. Offensive rebound for Jamal Banks. And it looks like a scramble for the ball. I believe a foul should definitely be called on Devin Dinkins.
Yeah.
Looked like he was draped on him.
Yeah.
And that's a big offensive rebound. Sorry to interrupt, Yannick. Number 0 in white, Jamal Banks. As good a time as any to get an offensive rebound.
Great hustle. I thought it was a poor shot selection by Dockery, but great hustle by Banks. Able to tip the ball to himself, get that board. Dinkins a little overzealous trying to get the ball back.
So Teal back at the free throw line, just made a pair before. Has a chance to make a couple more. First one's good on the 1-and-1. How clutch has he been?
Oh, yeah. Not even just scoring, but just making winning plays. I think he had to drive and dish to Weber to start the overtime to get them started with that three-pointer.
Second one good. 4 straight free throws for Ian Teal. He'll check out of the game for a brief break, it looks like, on the defensive end. Checking into the game is number 24 in white. That's Wes Peterson. 48 seconds remaining. It's a 5-point ball game. Back in the hands of Harris. He's really been the guy for Gonzaga down the stretch. Crossover dribble. Tough contested jump shot for Williams is no good. Gill with a tough rebound. Studi ends up with it in his hands.
Great.
In transition. TJ Gatson with the big dunk.
Yeah, that's how you get on the scoreboard. First basket, big steal and dunk in OT. That's how you do it.
What a steal by TJ Gatson. In transition, finishes with a monster slam. And it's 81-74. O'Connell on top with 24 seconds remaining. Still time.
Still time.
You wonder if that's the basket that puts the Eagles away. First free throw good for Harris. Substitutions coming into the game, a number of them for Gonzaga. And you wonder how many switches they're going to make between offense and defense here. And again, it's been a chess match in overtime. A lot of substitutions either way. Sometimes it's a big lineup. Sometimes it's a small lineup. And it's commendable that Steve Turner and Joe Wooten on each side of the court here have gone back and forth.
I mean, two of the best coaches in the area.
Absolutely.
Big chess match all night long.
Hundreds and hundreds of wins in the WCAC alone between these two guys. 2 free throws good for Harris. 5-point game. Full court pressure from Gonzaga. Teal, double teamed in the corner, loses the basketball. And it's going to be Gonzaga possession.
Yep.
Big time defensive stop. Results in a turnover.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they passed it into the corner. You don't want to do that.
So Gonzaga has the basketball now. Still 21.4 seconds remaining, down 5. Williams gets it to Harris. Blocked. Blocked on the three-point arc. And it's going to be O'Connell basketball. And the referees will talk this one over. And we'll stay with Gonzaga, and I think that's the right call, Yannick. I think it was all ball to go out of bounds.
I think O'Connell. Hey, man. It's a
same play. Drive inside from Harris. No call. Williams for 3. Off the front of the rim. No good. Harris tries to get it up. No good. In the hands of TJ Gatson. And Yannick, I think this might just about do it. Bishop O'Connell comes all the way back in that third quarter. Tied at the end of the third. Tied at the end of the fourth. Head into overtime. And the story of the game is players that perhaps are unheralded making big plays for each of these teams. In this case, TJ Gatson. Steal and dunk to put the game away, and now a chance to put a few free throws, missed the first one.
And Freeman, too, I mean, we had him in our books as starting. They can run over and say, oh, no, he's not starting anymore. You could think that, hey, you're not starting, you're going to be, moping. But he has performed admirably in the second half for
Second free throw is good, so a 6-point ball game, 8 seconds remaining. Going to have to get a shot up quickly. Harris goes down the floor, loses the handle, can't get the shot. Layup is good from Gill with 1 point. Well, it's 1.1 on the clock, but maybe closer to 1.5 if they adjust it.
An awesome game tonight.
Absolutely. A track meet.
Yep.
From both teams. A combined 160 points between these two teams.
High-level offense
at the high school level.
Great scores. You have Dockery, who came on strong. He's going to go to Maryland. He's just a walking bucket for O'Connell. You have Williams, even though he was quiet from the fourth quarter on, he was outstanding in this game. Gill, Harris, these guys have been tremendous on both sides. And we talked about it a little bit, the coaches let them play.
Absolutely.
They let them decide the game.
And it's a great point because until that fourth quarter, we joked about it, but no timeouts called until that fourth quarter. Now, fourth quarter and overtime starting to get some more timeouts, but that's more clock management than anything, trying to draw out the plays.
See, the coach for St. John's, Patrick Behan, he just walked out, so he's scouting.
Inbounding the basketball, it might be a turnover.
Oh, it's a turnover. It is a turnover. Is there time on the clock? We have it.
So 0.8 seconds. If you're O'Connell, you just walk away.
Yeah.
You don't.
I think he's going to call a timeout just to make sure. Hey, guys.
Just stay over here.
Over here.
Stay on our side of the our side of the hoop. I love the commitment to defense, even at this stage of the game, though, from Gonzaga. 1.1 seconds on the clock, still forcing that turnover. It'll be their basketball now, down 4. Highly unlikely they'll end up with the victory today, but nonetheless, outstanding effort.
Yeah, Coach Turner's not going to let these guys give up, and he's going to play to the final whistle. He's going to preach that. So that's why you have the timeout with, 2 seconds left. And they're going to have a play here. Obviously, O'Connell's not going to defend this very strongly, let them get the basket, and walk out of here a winner. But they're going to play to the final whistle. They're going to go to the very end, Gonzaga is. Should have shot. Gill didn't want to mess up his shooting percentage, I guess.
So the fans storm the court. Bishop O'Connell wins a wild one here at Coons Athletic Center at Bishop O'Connell. It's an 82-78 victory for the Knights over the visiting Gonzaga Eagles. They moved to 4-1 in WCAC play. Gonzaga moves to 3-2 in the all-important standings. An excellent game from a number of players. Reminder, we've got a lot of games coming up here tomorrow. McNamara gets PBI girls basketball happening on Monumental Sports Network. That's a 7 p.m. tip on Friday. And remember to tune in to the Go-Go action. Go-Go playing the Maine Red Claws right now. You can catch the end of that game. And tomorrow they are playing Canton, the Canton Charge. So a couple of good G League basketball games to tune into as well. And you know what, while we're at it, let's talk about Florida A&M versus Howard on Saturday. If you like basketball, you're in the right place on Monumental Sports Network. That's going to do it for us. For Eduardo Villaroman, Roan Ross, Yannick Scarrett, I'm Dan Nolan. A victory for O'Connell at home against Gonzaga. An upset in the area, 82-78. We'll see you next time.